Welcome to this episode of Adtastic. I'm your host, Tony Stanall, and today it is our pleasure to bring in Shoshana Winter, the Executive Director of Creative at Merkle. Welcome, Shoshana.
Thank you, Tony. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Now, Merkle is known as a performance marketing organization, and you're in the creative department. So is there any tension between, being creative and performance, bringing the numbers?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I think there's a couple of answers to that. One is there is an art and science to doing performance marketing well and to doing performance creative well. Our team of 250 art directors, producers, and copywriters are well trained in key principles of what makes a direct mail piece or an email perform well for brands. At the other end of the spectrum, what we're seeing is a real interesting redefinition of performance when it comes to what clients are looking for, which is, in a world where there's less and less ways for brands to only, speak about what's great about a product or service, the sort of old world of brand advertising, they have to find ways for those kinds of ads to perform. And so a lot of what we're being asked to do and the work that we do for clients is sort of moving up the funnel, I would say, to more mid-funnel. How do you drive consideration or engagement? Those numbers of consideration and engagement are beginning to enter the conversation around performance.
Interesting. Do you have an example of maybe how you persuaded a client in a certain way that maybe opened their eyes to more of what you do, whether it's more creative or more performance, a real aha moment for them? And you don't have to name them if it's confidential client or what have you.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think a lot of it, and I won't even use a specific question. I think a lot of what we've seen, I've been in this role for about a year and a half. I was formerly at Merkle in a strategy role and came back in this role, which has been really, really, I think, one of the best jobs of my entire career. I love creative. I love creatives. I love the way they think and work. I think most of what we're seeing is around process. And so, for example, if you have a client in the financial services space, let's say they're a credit card company, for example, and they ask us to come up with an idea for a direct mail piece to drive enrollments for a credit card. Normally, what that brief would look like would be, here's who the audience is, here's what we want to say about the features of this credit card, here's the timing, etc. And what we've really begun to implement with clients is, let's take a step back. Let's really dig into what is this audience thinking and feeling? Why would they want another credit card in their wallet? Particularly over the last 2 years, it's a question that comes up a lot, right? And can we layer into the beautiful design that is filled with direct response best practices, nuggets of humanity, of how humans think and feel, and give that as sort of the main reason why, versus cash back rewards, etc. And so a lot of what we're doing with clients is playing a balancing act between, let's call it, share of heart and share of wallet.
Gotcha. Well, it's always a pleasure talking with you. One last question, if you could comment on this in 15, 20 seconds. In a prior conversation, maybe it was for an article I was writing about brand strategy, you said that strategists are the most valuable brains of the business. I don't know if you've used that before or if you even remember saying that to me, but what would you say about that now?
So I'm a strategist and I was asked to lead a creative department. So there's that. I think that we are the bridge between the business and the creative. And so, and what I mean by that is there has to be individuals that know how to parse out how people are feeling and thinking, and interpret that in words, in pictures, in sounds and motion, and in experiences that consumers are going to respond to. And so we're the bridge builders, if you will. I think we're not living in a time where you could just be on one side or the other. You do need us bridge builders today.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming in today, Shoshana. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Same. Thank you so much, Tony. It was a pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of Adtastic. To find out more about Shoshana Winter, just go to dailyadbrief.com. See you next time.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.